What's up, everybody? Welcome to Comic Book Streamland. I'm your host for the evening, JayDee Rosario from Unstoppable Comics. I'm hanging out tonight with Tom Hutchison, Ray Jameson, and JD Calderon. What's up, guys? How we doing tonight?
We're having a good night. It's a good Friday. I should say a good Friday as opposed to Good Friday.
Good Friday, eh?
Good Friday. Yeah.
Oh, like
FRYDDEH, Friday.
TDH. Okay. Any way you guys want to spell it up there in the north, I'm okay with. Use are good peoples. So I'm not going to be upset by it. Any way, you guys try to spell modern English.
Well, the further east you go in Canada, they start calling it Vendredi.
What the fuck?
That's French. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Let's see some momentum. I'm just killing all the buzzes here.
Yeah.
Your turn.
What the fuck?
So, folks, we are live tonight on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. So what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. Please let us know that you're in the room hanging out with us. Guys, this has been a busy couple of weeks. From New York Comic Con coming out to, from San Diego Comic Con coming and going. Spider-Man coming and going. This is a great summer. I like to call this the summer of John Bernthal, but that's my hill to die on. And like comic books are booming right now. Everybody's talking about books right now. Guys, people are talking about either record sales or like I was at Terrificon last week, and almost everybody I spoke to at the table said they were making money hand over fist over there. Are you guys feeling the same way? Are you guys getting a little bit of the comic book boom rub or no?
Well, that you mentioned the MCU Spider-Man movie that just came out. There's this huge there's a lot of pressure on Marvel to have a successful film based off of its recent track record. So it's nice to see that, and then obviously there's going to be repercussions from that successful movie in the comic stores. So it's pretty awesome.
It's sad that it's actually a Sony film.
Yeah. But at least we're getting that. The Hulk is not getting anything, right? He's not getting his own rub through Universal. It's not happening at all.
He can't. Well, I mean, they can if Universal wanted to, but
right.
Actually, no. Technically, they can't. Universal just has distribution rights, so Disney could make a movie, but Universal would be the distribution.
They have a hand in that cookie jar.
That's where that is. It's not even that Universal owns the rights. They don't. They just have distribution rights. And so that's why Hulk, that's the workaround is Hulk can appear in team movies, but he can't appear in his own movies without going through Universal. So if Disney, now here's the thing, Sony, this is a Sony movie, right? Disney is obviously involved, but this is a Sony movie. But if they're looking at this as like, well, shit, everybody just liked the Hulk that was in this thing. What if we went ahead and worked with Universal and went ahead and did make a Hulk movie? There has to be something weird happening there that Disney's not like, hey, fuck off. We're going to work around you guys. And I'd be curious to know what that problem is if they can't, just make a Hulk movie and say, okay, Universal, go ahead.
Right. Right. Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, it's business that we're not involved in, that we have all we can do is speculate and hope. Right? Like we're hoping for a new X-Men movie that's going to be good.
I hope for any movie to be good.
Yeah.
Any movie worth my hard-earned money better be good. I don't want to waste my money. I get that.
Yeah. Oh, you do have kids, so
right.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's got to be kid-friendly, or I have to stay up later and watch something, which is it's got to be worth my time and money, I guess is a better way to put it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I get that too. So, guys, all right, with all this good stuff that's happening, do you feel like, I don't know, something is off?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
There's something way off. And the thing is, I don't think it's off. I just think that we have been marginalized from the outset, and then we were again marginalized. So when things first occurred with the direct market, we were marginalized, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marvel moved into that market and marginalized us, right? Meaning independent publishers, right?
Okay.
Then Diamond came in and won the distribution wars, and we were marginalized again, right? Even further out. And then Diamond went out of business. And when we thought we couldn't do any worse, here we are.
Okay, but don't we own our own corner? Excuse me, maybe own is not the right word. Don't we thrive in our own corner of the crowdfunding market, where it's ultra direct to consumer?
Well, the thing is I mean, when you say we thrive, there are some people that thrive. There's some people that do okay, right? And you know, there you go.
Okay, right. I'm one of those people that
I do okay.
Do okay. Yeah, yeah.
You know, who's thriving? You know,
the guy that owns his own lake.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Lake Hutchinson.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
You have to erect a manor. We'll call it Hutchinson Keep on Lake Hutchinson.
There we go. It's a runoff of which one? Michigan?
No.
Ontario?
No. We're way inland, so
Huron?
I'm not sure where it would come from. I'd have to look at a map and see where it directly comes from. I don't know.
I hope it's Huron. That's the most overlooked lake. You know what I mean? That's the one people are always forgetting. Right?
It's the perfect conversation for the internet. Which Great Lake?
Yes.
Top 5 Great Lakes. JayDee Rosario. Top 5 Great Lakes. Oh, wait, there's only 5.
I guarantee you there will be some people on this panel especially that won't be able to name all 5.
That's true, because I'll be like the East River, the Hudson.
The Verrazano Bridge, that's one, right?
No. We would have to go to the reservoir in Central Park.
Uh-huh.
Right? There you go.
There's the Harlem River, the East River, the Hudson, right? Jamaica Bay, and the Long Island Sound. Those are the 5. Those are the 5 here in New York. Right? Yes, and just like that, we dropped from 19 people to 9 people watching. Right?
I told you.
Can't blame him. Can't blame him.
Play flowing water sound effect as we keep talking about it.
All right, we're supposed to be talking comic books. Yes, I'm so sorry. But
there's the Great Lakes Avengers. If we have to go there.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's Alpha Flight. We know that. That's up north.
It's not. Hey,
no, Great Lakes Avengers is a real thing.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yes.
Pardon my ignorance.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, Mr. Impossible, Doorman, Big Bertha. Oh my God, was it Songbird? No. No. What was the pterodactyl? The pink pterodactyl name?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
I just know it exists, but
Flatman were those 100%.
Perfect.
Those were the 5 in the Great Lake Avengers. Also created by John Byrne, by the way. Not just Alpha Flight. So, you got some legacy. You got some legacy in there, bro. Okay.
Nice.
Right? I did like it. But then they appeared in the West Coast Avengers. So they didn't have a strong outing either.
Yeah.
Nothing called the Great Lakes Avengers is supposed to have a strong outing.
Right.
Like that's sort of the point, is that they're gonna struggle a little bit.
Oh, would you rather have them be called the Grand Rapids Avengers?
That would be even worse.
I mean, it was supposed to be tongue in cheek to begin with, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Right. And we got 2 of them in the Marvel TV stuff, which was just bad enough as it is.
Which ones?
Mr. Impossible was in She-Hulk.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And Doorman was in Wonder Man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. They were both bad. Both bad. Yeah. So here we go. Greenland Burks. Wow. Deep Lake Cuts. Yes. The GLA. Yes. Lame heroes for a lame area. Excuse me. Area. I'm so sorry. Yes.
I saw Damage Control first appearance is going up now because it's getting more play. It's in the movie. I mean, it's been around anyway, but it's been mentioned for a long time. But it had a big role in Spider-Man. So Damage Control first.
Did we all see Spider-Man?
Bumping.
I've seen it.
Yeah, Calderon. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the opening weekend.
Okay. So anybody who's watching right now, I'm just letting you all know this is going to be a spoiler episode. All right. If we bring it up, I'm not holding anything back. If you show up in the middle, it is what it is. But we're definitely
Galactus was the surprise appearance, though. I was not prepared for that.
You should have seen Spidey stop him rob that bank. Nobody saw Galactus coming. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Can we build up to that? Can we build up to that? A little, come on, man. A little bit of drama.
There were these turtle aliens with no shells that showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know Daphne's trying to
Greatest
make a joke
crossover ever.
with the Weehawk and Avengers.
Spider-Man laser blast. Who knew?
Spider-Man brand new laser blast.
Well, they're gonna do what the Avengers. Well, they're gonna do Spider-Man and Luke Skywalker. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker sucks. We need those laser blast bounty hunters in there.
Yeah. There's some things just don't jive with each other. You know what I'm saying, man?
Well,
Like Luke Skywalker and Spider-Man. Sub them out for laser
Yeah.
blast.
The stench of desperation is fierce.
I don't sense that as desperation. I sense that as they see money. Like they
Right.
know that's just money in the bank. And it doesn't
Oh,
really matter what the insides are.
Right.
They can just put all their best artists on covers and just sell
Right.
an absolute mint of Captain America versus
of
Luke
course.
Skywalker's lightsaber.
Mhm.
Come on. Darth
In place
Vader
of
got
Wolverine.
on the cover?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's going to sell, bro.
Doom Invader, yeah.
Yeah, and like I said,
Oh, of course it's going to sell. Yeah, of course.
it stinks of desperation because they can't make a good book, so they have to smash together two books that are good. They're gonna have fantastic covers for. So
This is a toaster and it now has a clock on it.
I want to run back to a comment that we've got over on Instagram. For those of you who know about StreamYard, the Instagram integration on the platform doesn't jive that well, so I won't be able to pull up the comments. But I want to say that Amina Mott says the marginalization is stemming from the fact that we provide a product that requires it to be read, thus not easily digestible and disposable, as going to see a movie or Netflix binge. It's an intellectual segregation. That's powerful, bud. Wow.
Well, that's why I asked last week, like, how are we taking our IP to a larger audience than just the comic book world, And I told Marvin to have an Edge parade float, and he was like, "I'll do whatever I have to do, man."
Right. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Of course
Right,
it
so
is. Of course it is. But that's what is required for any of us to take another step up into the larger populace. Like we can all do Comic Cons, cost money.
Right.
We can all do ads if we want, cost
Right.
money. It all costs money. So it's just a matter of like, where do you want to say, I've got $2,000, where can I put it?
Okay.
That would, again, not just within our bubbles, but that would be like, that's a valuable export of my IP into somewhere else.
Okay.
You
scale it down, right, with the money that you have. This is just throwing spaghetti at the wall, but would taking out an ad in a movie theater help?
No, I don't think so.
No.
That would depend. I mean, that would have to be the perfectly placed ad in a perfectly placed city that would have the intersection of people wanting to see movie X in conjunction with I'm looking for a new story to read in a comic book.
Well, I mean,
so it's I don't know if niche is the right word, but it's very specified advertising.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you were to able to do, let's say, like 30-second animated something, right, or 60-second animated something, it's really strong, really good looking, looks just like your comic or taken exactly from your book, and you were able to get that into indie theaters, right, that show maybe indie films, and you get those theaters to sell your book. And you were able to advertise that in the theater. Saying,
that's a larger scope, but yes, you're right.
But available at concession stand.
Okay, that's not a bad idea, right?
I mean, it's a terrible idea because the amount of money it will cost.
Oh, right, because you've got the Transformers 40th anniversary apology tour coming to theaters next week, right? So that's the audience you're going after, right? You got Fathom Events that constantly brings over independent anime.
Yeah, but I don't think any of us would be able to sell anything significant to the Transformers audience. I don't think that, unless you have a robot book. If you had a robot book, then yes.
Yes.
None of us have that, so I don't know that it's the right
Every
idea.
book is going to have a different market.
Right. Yeah.
So I think I was saying before in a comment, I think last episode I wasn't on, I was saying like Critter for furries or Oswald for fantasy or Vicky Sticks in like a horror or a thriller. You would have to specify it like that.
That's hilarious how you stick Critter in furry and Oswald in fantasy. That's just kind of funny.
Well, I don't see any spell casting in Critter. Well, you know what? That's wrong. But you understand where I'm going with this.
All right. Well, back in the comments, we says Green Lantern Burke says the Parks and Rec pitch would have been fine. Kevin Smith though. Okay. I didn't watch Park and Rec, brother. So if you want to bring that up a little bit,
because what it is Kevin Smith, I think, is writing it. The Star Wars.
He is. Yeah.
Right, which means it's probably gonna suck really bad.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Raymond McKay, what's up, kid?
Like, what comic book has he ever done that was actually all that good? I mean, he's written, I think, some okay comics. I don't think he's ever written a really good one.
Yeah. No,
right?
I'm with you with okay one. Yeah. The Devil Rain one where Mysterio shot himself was pretty good. His Green Arrow one where Green Arrow came back to life, I thought was pretty good. Not great, but I thought it was a solid read, worth the money at the time. Yeah. Okay. Other than that,
do you know where that book is at?
Yeah, it's in my bin. It's in my log box.
Probably at the bottom.
Yeah, pretty much. What's up, Ray? How we doing, brother? Daphne, bless Tom's heart, thinking 2K will make any meaningful marketing.
It depends on where you're putting it. That's the whole point. It depends on where you're putting it. You have to start in places that $2,000 would mean something to whoever you're giving it to, and it's all about it's all about. I mean, $2,000 is basically less than New York Comic Con, but where would you put it is the whole point, I mean, if there's parades in these towns all over the place, why can't you get your cosplayers to come out and walk down the thing with a little banner that says, Unstoppable Comics, and you've got Vicky Sticks and whoever walking down a parade in your local parade, not just some crazy offshoot, but local is the key. All of it is local, is to build a local starting point. And Jay, somebody clip that, please. Somebody clip that look right there, because that's amazing. That is a frozen man right there.
Yeah.
You moved for a second, Jay.
Yep.
Still frozen.
I'm
just going to keep talking. But I mean, I brought that. I bring up the parade thing because last week we were talking about like how back in the day, Marvel would put their characters into parades and the big floats and the big balloons and that, you're going back into the 60s and the 70s for that stuff. And then like when Masters Universe came out, they had a Masters Universe float, to sell shit. So if you can put your characters in a place where people are like, whoa, what the fuck is that? That's where you can change the game, the perception of your IP. But if you're just going to the same places every time, it's I've been here, or you're in the same sort of general audience, right?
Yes,
you be the captain now.
Yeah. Chaos rules. Yes.
I'm fucking telling you guys, for the last few weeks, my internet has been fucking shit.
We got your back.
We haven't.
We said only good stuff.
Yeah, nobody's noticed.
Yeah. Is there another storm coming tonight? Is that it? Is that it? Because I don't know, the storm like 3 weeks ago fucked up the internet in my area.
And apparently they never fixed it.
They apparently not. Shit. Yeah. All right, Chope, Curtis Grace versus the world. Guys, don't be afraid of success. I'm with you on that one, bro. Fred, Daredevil, the target number 2 is going to be awesome. Okay. Before he started smoking constantly, he did better writing. Way to go. My idea froze Jay. Yes, it did, bud. Yes, it did. So, yeah, Kevin Smith has not been...
And don't get me wrong, I like some of his work. There's at least 3 movies of his that I enjoy. At least 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Jay and Silent Bob.
No.
I like the Mallrats.
No.
I liked Dogma.
Tusk.
Not gonna happen, bro. I'm
Piece of
sorry.
shit. Trash. Trash.
I like how vitriol came out of you for that.
No, not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
but even Kevin admits that that's trash. Like he will tell you that he makes terrible movies. Like that, he'll tell you that. So he knows he's not out here making Oscar things. He's just out here having fun and doing what he wants to do with the people he wants to do it with.
Yeah.
And that's what we should all be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Tom, before we signed on, you were talking about some of your ideas, right? That we can do in scale.
I was.
Yeah, you were.
I forgot them all then.
You were talking about some of your crossover covers, things that we can do to promote the independent comic book market, right?
It's all, well, because here's the thing. It's like the template for a lot of this stuff exists when you look into the industry and you see who's doing what with who and why. And there are bubbles and cliques, and sometimes it's within just publishers themselves that they just do it that way. But because all of indie comics is sort of its own clique, I mean, there's still bubbles and stuff within that as well, but there's really not a reason that we can't all kind of band together and use the template of, for example, the crossover covers, like when they did the Darkness Invincible crossover covers and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they're doing it again right now with like Witchblade. Witchblade is doing team up covers and stuff. That's like the simplest thing that could possibly be done is just all of us doing some crossover covers that promote another book, and then simultaneously. So it would be Critter and Oswald, right? I would do one, and then Calderon would do one. So you have that dual. Whoever's buying is going to see it both ways. That kind of stuff, and that's just marketing and marketing and sales combined. So stuff like that is just how we as basically the bottom tier of making comics, how we can, again, just put our stuff in front of eyeballs that may not have seen it before.
Okay, I like that. But the template is there, just like Daphne's template over here. To sponsor a float at a gay pride parade starts at $850. Good luck, gentlemen. So for $2,000, you could get a pretty nice float.
This is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying? Hey,
yep.
Whatever floats your boat.
That's it. I'm not looking sideways at my friends in the LGBT community. You guys want to float? You guys want to sponsor? You wanted to promote my stuff? I'm up there waving a flag with you. I got your back, baby. But right now the template is there. That's a great idea. Crossover stuff, crossover covers, right?
People have always talked about how, I put ads for other people's stuff in my book. I'm like, listen, let me tell you something. I will never look at that ad. If I see an ad in a book, I'm not looking at your ad, right? The only sort of exception to that is like the stuff that goes into comic book stores, and that's like its purpose is like, hey, we're advertising some things. I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on. But if I'm reading a comic book and I come across an ad, I'm not noticing. But if I'm looking at your Kickstarter or like what you have at your Comic-Con or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that's Oswald and fucking Invincible on that cover, I know what that is, then that's a different sort of engagement that I think, the higher you could kind of creep up that level, the better it would be for you. I mean, like, look at stuff like now this is a little more in depth because this is legitimate crossovers, but like Polito and Mendoza did Zombie Tramp Lady Death crossover, right? Like
cool.
Pure book was a crossover. And then Mendoza did that with Tim Seeley and Hackslash, right? And now Hackslash just did a crossover with somebody else. So like if you were to be like, hey, Tim Seeley, could we do like a cover with Cassie Hack and my character? That's probably something that they'd be open to doing. And then that lifts you up into, now you've crossed over with something from Image Comics. Even though it's not like in heavy publication circulation, it's something that people understand, and they'd be like, "You got Cassie Hack on a cover? That's awesome!" So yeah.
Well, all right, let me ask this, and Calderon, let me bring it to the next level. What about not just crossover covers, but cameo appearances in other people's books? give me a cameo, I'll give you a cameo. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's cool. I mean, crossovers are always cool. I mean, the thing is depends on the property, right? Like, you know, like Oswald, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, the story's done. I'm not stuffing anybody's character in my book just to have them in there. You know, but I've done things, or various of my artists have done things like put them in the background. Okay. You know what I mean? You know, we've done stuff like that. In Tenchi Muyu, Dreamweavers appears in the background. So, you know, you can do stuff like that. But, you know, then there's purposeful crossovers, and that's a whole other story. So, you know, and that would be, you know, fun to do as well. So,
what do you think about the cameo appearances, Ray?
Cameo appearances, just like advertising in any other medium, it's strategy. So you got to know exactly what you're trying to pull off with such a thing. That I guess the best example, as already pointed out, Image or Marvel and Invincible, rather. So Spider-Man, Invincible, and McFarlane drew it, I believe, if that's correct. That cover.
Yes.
Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
That, I mean, very smart in that respect. So you just have to understand exactly what outcome you're aiming for before you attempt to pull off something like that, rather.
Okay. So, Tom, let me ask you, bro. If you're looking at it from a strategy standpoint, what angle are you coming at the strategy from? A financial angle or a high bandwidth angle?
Bandwidth. It has to be bandwidth. That has to be the goal. The first goal, anyway. I mean, you could have a monetary goal as well, but the bandwidth is the whole point. You know, if it's Critter and Oswald crossing over, the whole point is Critter people get to see Oswald and Oswald people get to see Critter. That's the whole point. And then you hope that both of those groups of people are like, fuck yeah, this is cool. Let's you know, give me more of either of these characters. So yeah, I mean, that's literally, I mean, just think back to the 90s. Everybody was crossing over with everybody. Even Marvel was like, yeah, go ahead, we'll cross over with Image, you know, that kind of stuff.
Witchblade and Wolverine, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the whole Devil's Reign thing. So you know, Image and Valiant were teaming up. I mean, it's just the thing that you did. Vampirella and Shadowhawk. There was a Vampirella.
Tom, you asked for that.
Yeah,
I think Tom missed it.
I saw it. I got it. There was a Vampirella Wetworks. I mean, like, just crazy stuff. So the whole point is take a thing that has an audience, take a thing that has a different audience, and put them together and hope that you can grow both audiences.
Grow the bandwidth. Unfortunately, guys, I got to go.
Okay, Ray. Thanks for hanging on.
Thanks for having me on. I'll talk to you guys later.
Just bring your kids on.
Yeah, man.
Bring them on. They're at a gymnastics birthday party. That's like the weirdest thing. Like, my middle child would take over this show. She's like a mix between Betty Boop and Ernest Borgnine. Like, you don't want to deal with that.
Betty Borgnine.
I love Airwolf.
It's wild. I'll find a picture and send it to you guys later. You'll see right away. Anyways, I gotta go. Bye for now.
Take care, Ray. All right. So,
good. Now we can talk about Ray.
All right. Coming from the bandwidth angle, Calderon, right? Something like Savage Dragon was always, not always. I remember him in a lot of cameos for other books.
Yeah.
War of the Independence, Invincible, a few other things.
I think if you talk to him, you know, I think he'd probably be really cool about it. The only problem with is the way he is now. Like, if I stuck him with Magi's Grace, or Tom stuck him with Critter, you know, you probably want to have Savage Dragon having sex with them. You know, the book's gotten a little strange. Now, I haven't read it in a long time. I just, you know, occasionally see these things and hear these words, and I'm just like, oh, you know, interesting. And the one thing I got to say is I'm really happy for the guy because he's doing what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, in the end, he's doing what he wants to do. God bless him for it. You know,
and he's about to hit 300 issues.
Yeah. Way to be. I love that, man. You know, that's a milestone, right? I mean, 300. The longest I've ever got on anyone is 8. I mean, I've got a lot of books, but the longest anyone ran was 8.
But that's a lot more than a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people don't even make it past issue 3.
Right. So let me look at the Instagram comments again.
People don't make it past 1, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Lucas Nathan Art, for joining us over on Instagram as well. Here we go. Amin says niche marketing is the lifeline for IP growth and expansion. Example: book cons, OzCon, strip joint comic book tie-ins, stuff like that. What do you think about that, guys?
Yeah, there was a time I thought about when I lived in LA still. It was easy to get to Vegas. There was a time I was going to go into Vegas and basically be like, look, I'll put your bar in my book if you would put my book in your bar, or whatever it was, to put it somewhere that is completely outside the norm of places. But then we ended up moving to the Midwest, and I it's much harder to get out there now. So but right. I've always had sort of weird product placement, shit like that. That's all real stuff. Its effect is, like Ray was saying, its effect is varying based on the strategy and how it's done and the execution of it. But it's all real stuff. And the more in your face about it is, that's why the cover is such a great, perfect thing, because you can't really not see it. Doesn't mean they're going to buy it, but they can't not see it. If they're scrolling through a Kickstarter, they're like, oh, there's that. I know that cover. Oh, what's this? What's this? This is interesting. This is not what I expected to see. They might scroll past, but they've seen it. And then the people that are engaged are like, oh, that's Rosario's character. That's fucking crazy. I'll buy that. And then hopefully they read the book and then they're into the book.
So to keep going with that, Calderon, if you had the $2,000, do you use those $2,000 within your niche or outside of it?
I mean, it depends what I'm looking to do. I mean, if we're just talking about advertising, like there are other websites that cater to different types of niche markets, right? Mm-hmm. So Daphne recently discovered one. She's experimenting with it now. It's the sort of thing that Oswald fits into. So we're going to probably put that in there at some point just to see how that rolls. But in the end, I mean, it depends. Like I said, it depends. And the thing is not that expensive, like $100 for a month worth of advertising or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's a small website, But, if you were going to ask me, let's say if I had $2,000 and I could say, all right, Tom, fuck it. Let's do that Critter Oswald crossover. I'll do one, you do one. I would take that $2,000 and invest it in putting together that book. Okay.
So the book is the advertisement, guys.
Of course it is. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in the end, I mean, we can plaster it all over the place, but if you have, the best thing to do is put out a good book, because that, no matter what, you can hand to people, send them PDF files, no matter what happens, that's always going to speak for you. If you got a good book, period, you just hand it out, and I mean, like, I just, the last convention I did like 2 months ago, whatever, what I did was I seeded that crowd for next year, hopefully. Mm-hmm. So I gave away a lot of free books. Remember the stuff that we were involved in? I gave away a lot of those books, a lot of Oswald #1s. I had 3,000 of them, so I was giving them away. Mm-hmm. So that hopefully people will read it and they'll come back next year and they'll be like, I need more of this. I want more of this. I gotta have more of this. Right. Okay. That's
Okay. I like that. How do you feel about the seating the crowd concept, Tom?
Oh, fuck yeah. That's gigantic but you have to be cautious, because if you get a sense that the con isn't working, then it's not going to matter how much you seat it. If it's the wrong audience, it's not going to matter. But if you're getting a sense of like, oh yeah, these people they'll bite if they're engaged, then 100%. Yeah. I mean, that's why, like, we were talking to Fred last week about cons, and how do you know what con? You don't know until you do it. But once you do it, you'll have a sense like, oh yeah, I want to be back here next year because I think I can grow this. Or you'll be like, this was a complete face flop. I'm out. I'm gonna take my money to a different con. But if you get any sense of like, I can build, then yeah, the seeding is gigantic, and you can pop back in and grow a little bit every time you come back to the con.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. How early into a con? How early into a new con do you guys make the decision? Hey, I'm coming back to this again.
Friday at noon. I know everything I need to know by Friday at noon.
What about
I'm
you?
not even joking. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I know what Tom's talking about too. I mean, I would give it probably. I mean, it also depends on the show, but I would say about halfway through Saturday. You know.
Okay.
You know, just to give it a fair shot, because I've been to shows
Yeah.
where Friday was a dud, right? Like everybody's at work, nobody showed up, or it was raining, whatever. Then you come in Saturday and there's gangbusters, or it could be dead on Saturdays and then you kill it on Sunday, right?
Right.
I've done all of those.
A lot of people at Terrificon that I spoke to said, "Man, they had hit on Friday."
Mhm.
So that was really good. I'm really happy for them. And tables varied in prices. One guy had this great gimmick, and I try to mention it. I don't know if it got through while I was in traffic on Sunday night on your show, Jose. But one of the guys, I don't know if you guys know Johnny C out of Boston, really cool dude. His horror book takes place in a coffee shop. So what does he do at Terrificon? He sets up a coffee stand.
Right. Yes, you did.
And he's selling coffee with the comic.
Well, and that's part of what we're talking about with that $2,000, right? If you're like, I have $2,000, how do I set myself apart at Comic-Con? What can I do with $2,000 to create a setup that is an undeniable setup that people, even if they don't know who you are, what you're doing, they're like, yo, what is this this thing? So, you know,
he had actors, comic book creators that he never spoke to ever before coming up to his booth before they set up in theirs. That was not just the money he was making, but the networking connections he was making at the same time was amazing. Amazing.
And that's the thing. When you're setting up something crazy, people are going to watch you.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, yo, who's that? What is he doing? Yeah. Why? What? Especially if it's at a smaller show.
Yeah.
And somebody's going big in a small show. Yeah. You can't not look at it.
Well, Terrificon is a nice mid-sized show, right? Somewhere between 30 to 50. They had big names there. Jim Lee, Arthur Adams, the Simonsons, people from the Peacemaker show, people from the Mayans, voice actors, Star Trek actors. They had a nice celeb row over there, and they had a great setup where it was vendors, then small press, then creatives, then the celebs, right? And you were able to go up to some creators like nothing. Kerwin Dreyer, Arthur Adams, Simon Bisley, just hi, how you doing? Right? A lot of them had already had their bookings done either prior to the show or early on Friday. So the lines were not to sell anything. The lines were just to chat with these creators while they were doing their commissions. So I like the flow of that convention as well. Jim Lee was a weird one. Jim Lee had not a private room, but a private walled off area. Right? They just had aprons all around his section. It was maybe a 20 by 20, and you couldn't see what was going on in there at all. All you know was there was a sign, Jim Lee. People were coming out of there happy. How late into a convention do you say, I'm not going to come back to this show?
1:00 Friday.
I usually hold off to the last day, but it's sometimes easy to declare it Saturday morning.
Yeah.
It's easy to declare it on
Saturday morning. It really will tell you quite a bit about any show. Yeah, that's true.
If that opening rush is a trickle, That's
Right.
it.
Well, but
It's not a rush.
it depends on where it's going, right? Because you could have like a crowd of people, but if they're all just racing to go stand in line for the Power Rangers, it doesn't that's not good for the floor. So again, it all depends on kind of, even if it's a trickle, if they're coming into the floor and they're like, let me find the stuff, that's fine. You can grab them. But if they're all coming in and just like off to the movie stars or whatever, then you're going to have a bad day.
Right. Right.
Just because they're spending all their time there and all their money there. And so when they're done, even if they come by your booth, they'll be like, oh, I spent my money on Power Rangers and whatever. And you'll be like, oh, well, but that can be, but again, and that's where, like what Calderon was saying, seeding for the next year, you got to decide, is this guy worth like a free something, or is this guy literally just going to come back next year and get the other Power Ranger and doesn't matter. So anything that you're doing from a marketing sense, you really have to make sure that you've got like your website and stuff on it so that they can spend money at home.
Right.
Versus, because that's the other seeding part. You're not just seeding for the con, you're seeding just for a general audience that if they go home and they're like, oh yeah, I got this thing from Calderon, like let's go to his website and buy a comic. That works too.
Yeah, I like that. That makes me ask Jose this question. How do you get the money from a convention goer before they spend it on the Power Ranger?
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a terrible salesman, right? I mean, I've never really been good at it. But once in a while, I come up with a gimmick, and I've told you guys this before. I had a comic book where I would print my first day as a digest size book, right? They would cost me like 50 cents to produce, right? And I would sell them for $1. And I would tell everybody, I would be like, listen, book is $1. If you don't like it, bring it back. I'll give you a full money back refund. No problem. Okay. Just give it back to me in the condition I gave it to you. I will be more than happy to refund the $1. Okay. And I've only ever had one instance where I had to refund the $1. And I was to this young kid, and that's because he needed the $1 to complete the $10 to buy like the actual book.
Oh, okay. All right. So Tom, how do you get the convention goer to get to spend their money on you before they spend it on that Power Ranger?
I'm probably a worse marketer and salesman than Calderon is.
Really?
Yeah. For me, it's not even about the sale. It's about, okay, if these fools are going to go stand in line for 3 hours for somebody, I want something in their hand. And so I'll be like, hey, here's a book. Fine. Because I whenever I do stuff, I've got damages and stuff. I can just pile up stacks of damaged books and be like, here's a book. And so that way, hopefully, if they're standing in line or if they're eating lunch or something at the con, they'll be like, hey, we got a comic book from that guy. And they'll look at it and hopefully swing back. But again, that might be a home seeding moment where they're like, we'll do something at home because we've spent all our money on the Power Ranger. I don't think you can get money out of somebody when their goal is already set. It's like, we're going there to meet this guy and get a signature and get a picture with him and whatever. Like, if that's what they're there for, that is what they're going to do first. And then anything else is going to be secondary. So I don't believe you can really fight that off.
Okay. All right. Going back to the comments over here, we got Oswald joins the Storm Chasers. What a cameo from Chompe. There we go. They need a new magician on the team. A magic wielder. Here we go. Jay always undervalues his achievement. Not many get to the level all of you have gotten to. Okay. Thank you. Brenda Portillo. Hello. What's up? How we doing? William, as soon as Tom has to pay people to move his stuff to set up, that's a no for Tom.
That's correct.
All right. So if a show is dead, guys, you know it's dead.
Start working.
Yeah.
Get your notepads out. Get your laptop out.
Okay.
Do some work. Or if there's people that you like on the floor, the work is go get your FaceTime. Go get your like, hey, I like your work, or whatever, and get your time in that way.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of different ways to take care of it. If the show, what we used to refer to as a creep show. So if we were in a creep show, it's time for me to, typically I'm there with Daphne or one of my other friends. We just sit down and talk, right? Or I'll go out, like Tom said, and just find, you just introduce yourself to other creators and you just start bullshitting. You find the cool ones on the floor.
Okay. How many of your collaborators have come from a creep show, guys?
What do you mean?
Like he said, you walk the floor, you find people that you want to work with.
Oh. Well, no, I don't ever work with anybody I meet. So
I've had a few.
Okay.
I've in fact the new critter artist who's going to be coming up to debut his time with us for Monroe Comic Con in September. I met him in Texas, and I think actually that's not true. I think I knew him online, but then when I went to Texas, he happened to be there, and then we met. And so I've known him for a few years, and I was like, "Do you want to take the book?" He was like, "Yeah, let's go." So
nice.
But there have been some people where I've run into them and I'm like, "Oh, that's good. Let's do some stuff." Asher B comes to mind immediately. She does some really, really great, amazing work. Most people know her from doing sort of our black light style Penny for Your Soul covers. But she's amazing. So I love her. And so there's been people that I wander through Artist Alley and I'm like, Becca Whitaker, met her at C2E2 as well. And she did a cover for us last year. So I find people for sure.
Okay. Sorry, I've just noticed the screen makes me look like I have a big forehead.
No, I think that's the forehead that does that.
Right. I can't say anything. I have the same problem. But so does Tom. We all have this issue.
Like Tom, I've met quite a few of my collaborators during the creep show moments, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're in a creep show, what would make you come back?
You don't.
Is there anything that can?
Okay.
If they want to comp me a booth.
Right.
It's
Pittsburgh Comic Con when it was around. It was a weird show. We would do one year and do great, and then we would come back the following year and do not so great. Yeah. And then we would come back, skip a year, do the following year, and we would do fucking gangbusters. And then we would come back the next year, nothing. You know what I mean? So it was a very odd show.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
and I'll tell you this: there's I learned this a few years ago. It's kind of changed a little bit now, but a lot of some of the big names, like J. Scott Campbell, for example, they would purposefully skip a year at cons every year. So like they would do Colorado and then they'd skip it and then they'd come back the following year. So it was on purpose that they had that gap so that they were essentially building up the, when's he coming back? And that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
So, there is value in going back to the same show over and over again because you can build an audience there. But once you become sort of, he's there, but I'm going to go see the guys that aren't always there. Then eventually it's sort of diminishing returns in that capacity because everybody that's coming to a con wants, Ryan Otley's there. I got to go see Ryan Otley. Yeah, but what about Tom? Yeah, we've seen Tom like 8 times. Like it doesn't matter anymore. So there is some value in sort of some aspect of just like, we're going to skip it this year and then we'll come back and then we'll skip it and we'll come back. That does seem to work. I mean, like when we came back to Baltimore, 2 years ago, it was our first time there in like almost 8 years. And it was really big. What was crazy was people that thought we were out of business were like, "Oh, you're back." I'm like, "Well, we're back here, but we never stopped. I mean, look at all the crap that we have." And they were like, "Oh my God, I didn't even know you were still making books anymore," because we weren't in Diamond, we weren't in comic book stores, so they assumed we were gone. They had no idea we were on Kickstarter or anything. So it was a big return for us after 8 years to come back into Baltimore and have people find us. So there is that value, I think when you're talking about close shows, go ahead and do them, year after year and make your space. But like for C2E2, like we were there in 25, we weren't there this year, but I'm contemplating going back next year because I think again that skip should kind of help us out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What will make you come back, Calderon?
What? Like I said, it just depends. I mean, sometimes, like my sister lived up in New Hampshire for a while, and we would just go up there. It was like a dual thing. I would go see my mother, my sister, and then we would go to a show. And so, even if the show wasn't that great, it really didn't matter. I got to see my mother and I got to see my sister. You know what I mean? So, sometimes it's worth it just for that.
Right.
It depends, But if it's like a really terrible show, I'll tend to skip it.
Forever.
Yeah, it goes on there. Yeah, I don't have to come back here ever again.
Okay. All right, look, I got no segue here. So I'm just gonna show Calderon's book.
And here's a Kickstarter.
It's live now on Kickstarter. You've hit your goal. You're almost 3 times up. 51 backers, 16 days left. Give us the heads up, kid.
All right. So this is the story of Anna. She's a young Chalcian and she's a knight. And she has to protect her people from this invading force and this evil monstrosity that's attacking them. And she's heading to New York to raise an army to bring them back to, rescue her people. So that's what she's doing. The other thing that's going on here is that Oswald is recounting this tale. He's telling this story to a bunch of people. And the reason being is that this is eventually going to be the thing that he is going to be battling himself. So that's where it ties in.
I love some of those covers, man. They're banging. What is this? Is it a basilisk?
No.
Something along those lines?
No, it's just a big, giant snake.
It's a snake dude.
Yeah.
Snake dude.
Exactly.
A snake dude.
Okay.
That's his real name is Snake Dude. Yeah.
Right? Is it the same one or are they different ones?
No, that's a different one.
Okay.
So these have riders.
Okay.
And the thing that cracks me up about this story is, you see Jade's art style. It's a little cartoony, right?
Yeah.
But it's just how violent the little knight is. Yeah, like, she runs around the book for all 4 issues, murking people like it's nothing. Like, she's stabbing dudes in the neck and, just moving on.
That's how you do it, baby. Stab and you move.
That's it.
Not stick and move, just stab and move.
Stab and move. There you go. And there she is.
Right. This is a banging cover right there.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Her as Death Dealer. Yeah. That's my favorite cover right there.
This one here.
Yeah, that one. I really like that one.
Okay. Yeah. And this is, I guess, your A cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no. Well, yeah, those 2 of the A covers, issue 1 and 2. Well, issue 3 and 4, excuse me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
3 and 4. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's the thing. I try to offer 2 books at the same time. So.
Right.
So at least people get a break on shipping. It's not always issue 1, issue 2. So.
All right. So the link for that book is going to be in the comments. Check it out, folks, when you get a chance. He's got 60 more days left on it.
Yep.
64 days left. Is that what you just said?
16 more. 16.
Oh, 16 more. That's much better. That's much better.
It is. I don't know. I don't even think I can survive that. Like,
guys, we got a special pop in. I want to make this as a very important moment for us. All right, we got some good looking kids.
This Tom Holland.
I guess want to
Tom
say
Holland
what's up.
What?
Here we go. Those are Ray's kids. They came to say what's up.
There you go.
I don't think that's what they said.
Nice to meet you, Jameson family. Oh, Ray came back. No, did he? He didn't. Okay.
No.
He probably hit the wrong button again.
He's got that Canadian internet.
Yes. Thanks for the pop in there, Jameson family. Thank you. So that's his book, and my book is going to be launching later on next month. What the hell? Why didn't it pop up? And that is Shield of the Interceptor #7, guys. The pre-launch page is now live.
Cool.
We're gonna have 2 different covers on this bad boy. All right, the A cover is illustrated by.
When did you get She-Hulk in your book?
She's not.
See, he spent that 2,000 to get that character.
I spent that 2,000 for that crossover. There we go.
Although I like
Disney was like, "Yes, we got that $2,000."
Yeah, I like your B cover.
The B cover, yeah, okay. We'll get that's going to be spotlighted in a moment. But we're going to be going live next month with this baby. I just want to make sure I've got my last 2 campaigns fulfilled. The cover for the the illustrator for the A cover is Narcelio Sousa, and the colorist is Elena De Napoli. Elena De Napoli, excuse me.
Wait a second. Is
what's
that
up?
Savage Dragon and Drag?
That is Savage Dragon and
Savage
You did the
Drag.
crossover.
I did it.
Savage Dragon. There you go.
Yeah, she's been in the series for the last 3 issues. So she's made a place. She's made the cover.
It's a really nice cover.
It looks great.
Yeah.
It looks fucking great. I love it. I love it. And it's going to be 24 pages, full color. It's a fantasy action adventure. It's going to be available in both print and digital. It's written by me, illustrated by Andres Barrero, colored by Champe, with cover by, again, Narcelio Sousa. And then the B cover, illustrated and colored by Raphael Sam. I love it also. Damn, man, it's so cool. It's so cool. I love the chibi kid stuff. It works. It works to stand alone. And then besides that, I've got a gift for all returning backers and for people who are watching on Comic Book Streamland. So if you've ever supported a Kickstarter campaign for one of my books, doesn't matter which one it was, you come back, you're going to get this free Prism cover, this free holofoil Prism card added to your reward at no extra charge. And I'm taking the homage to the magazines to the next level there, Tom. And I'm making it as if Comic Book Streamland was a magazine. So those are going to be my theme for the returning backer cards on every campaign that I do. And the link for this is going to be in the comments, guys.
Cool.
Yeah, here we go. All right. Burke says, "Oh, don't tell me I'm not here anymore."
You're there.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm trying to pull up the. Here we go. All right, Burke says, "Oh, snap! A new issue of the Interceptor." Yes, sir. She's coming through. I just want to make sure that the last 2 campaigns were fulfilled before I launch. I'm just waiting for the books to come in for the printers on both of those.
So you're not going to show what I shared?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice it. My fault. Mea culpa. Mea culpa. Here we go. All right, Tom. Let us know, baby.
Since Jay was so distressed that I don't have a starting page yet for this, we'll show you the primary cover. This will be launching a week from tomorrow, Saturday the 22nd. All of the previous Oz campaigns for this year are all fulfilled and done and in people's mailboxes. This will be a double-sized issue, 27-28, so it'll be a 40-page issue. New series artist Dani Hadi Wijaya is here with Sean Lee. So that's what the book looks like on the inside too, guys. That's not just cover art. That's our series artist as well. So
I know that guy.
Yeah. He's doing a great job, and Sean's doing a great job, and we'll have sample pages on the campaign as well. And but yeah, we'll at least give a little debut of what is to come here for you tonight.
Yeah. Good. Way to be. I'm glad. Donnie's great. I use Donnie as well on my book, The Dead Princess Vicky Sticks, which is going to be the final release of 2026 for me, guys. Yeah, we got Jump. Oh, when I'm sharing the screen, I can't pull up comments. Okay, here we go. So when is this going to go live, Tom?
A week from tomorrow.
Way to be, buddy.
22nd.
Way to be. Way to be. Champe says the chibi artist rocks. Yes, he does, man. He's going to be doing quite a few things with me. Not just chibi stuff. Oh, did I say that part out loud? How far into 27 are you guys working right now?
He is on page. Jesus, I don't know. He's into the teens for sure.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
No, not just on that stuff, but yeah. For both of you guys, how far are you guys into the stuff that you're going to be releasing?
Oh, 27 the year, 2027. Yeah. I already have the Critterverse anthology about 2/3 done. So there's about 10 pages that are underway, so it won't take long. Critter 27 or 26 rather for January is underway. It'll be done probably in September, so it'll be finished. So we're going to have the book in hand by the time we launch the book in January. Because we'll just, once it's done, I'm just printing the motherfucker. I'm just going to have them.
Yeah.
So we're pretty deep.
Okay. How far are you, Calderon?
You're talking to a guy that launches a Kickstarter every 2 weeks. Like,
right. I mean, because that's just it. I say I don't know because I don't calculate it like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of like, I get a campaign done and then it's all right, send it to the printer and like, all right, let me print it and then let me ship it. Okay, let's do another one. So I don't really have it laid out because there's always variables. My printer, sometimes I send them a file on Monday and I got the books on Friday.
Okay.
Right. And then sometimes I send them a book on Monday and 3 weeks later, I'm like, yo, where are my books? Right. Yeah. It happens. Yeah. So it just depends. The quicker, the quicker I can churn them, the quicker I can burn them. So it's that. But when it comes down to Oswald, hopefully another 8 to 9 campaigns because I still do have a lot of material. Okay. So, and I'm hoping, look, I have yet to do it. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 trade paperbacks. After this campaign will be the 9th trade paperback. And then I'm hoping maybe get up to 12 by next year.
Okay.
So we'll see.
12 for next year.
No. Like my 12th trade paperback.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 13. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got 3 books so far. I got 1 done. Mm-hmm. I got 1
almost done.
And I got the 3rd one that he's going to get the script as soon as he turns in the last pages for one of the other ones. So I'm good right now until the summer. If one every other month, right? Depending on when I launch. I don't know if I'm going to launch in January or in February.
Oh, here, Jay, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
So I have a bit of a conundrum, right? Mm-hmm. So here's a weird one. So I have a story, right? That it's 191 pages. The artist just finished it. Okay. Jesus. Yeah, it took him 2 years to complete. Now, I'm like, if I break it down, it breaks down to about 8 issues. Standard 24 pages per whatever, like 23 issues, whatever, or 23 pages per issue, whatever. Now I'm thinking, instead of producing them as like that, I produce them as 4 48-page books.
Yes, that's the correct answer.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. All right.
Why is that the correct answer?
Faster storytelling turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing 8 issues, it just takes that much longer to do all the campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's done anyway, you're better off giving them like a just a thicker book, more content basically for the campaign. They're just happier. Like, oh look, we got like a big ass book. Like this is good. Right. Yeah, 100%. I would do it that way.
Right. And then the other question. Well, no.
Okay, I wouldn't do it.
Okay, why wouldn't you do it?
I would go single issues, right? Because it gives me. I'm not thinking about the consumer. Excuse me. I'm thinking about myself, right? And it gives me more time to promote stuff. Right, it gives me more bullets in the chamber to fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Calderon already has 38 campaigns to do.
Yes,
something
for
like
him,
that.
Yes, for him, yes. But if it was me, right, I'd spread it out. It also buys me time.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't need time because it's all done.
Yeah. No, to have the future content get made. You know,
I have that.
But it also gives you time to take a break too, man.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. You're just coming at this all wrong, Jay. All wrong.
I don't know what but to break, I don't know what that is. I don't know.
I'm thinking it. Yeah, I'm thinking at it from a.
Well, I'll be honest with you. One of my considerations was when I sat down and thought about it. I was like, well, I could do 8 issues, or I could do 4 issues. Yeah. Now, what's the difference there? I would be buying 8 more covers.
Yeah.
Okay. Which would run me.
Well, and you'd be printing more books.
Right.
Be right back,
you
guys.
Know, it's just to me it's go tight.
Yeah.
Go tight. I and that's what I've done with my books. We were originally doing like 7 issues of the book or whatever, and just running it. But then I was like, it just takes too long to get through the story. So what I've been doing now is, because when we do our trade paperbacks, it's essentially 5 issues of a book. Mm-hmm. So we'll put out the first issue. So like for Critter next year, 26 will be normal, like 20-page book. And then we'll do 27, 28, 29, 30. So 40-page books. So in 3 campaigns, we do 100 pages, and that arc's wrapped. We're done in 3 campaigns with that. And that's worked really good. People have enjoyed that sort of breakdown.
No, that's cool. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it was just one of these things, because it's funny. It's like it took the artist 2 years to do it, which is understandable.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, once it was done, because for me, it was like, when you're at page 80, I'm like, oh, shit's never going to get finished. Like,
yeah.
Like, but when I got those last pages in, I was just like, now what I did is this is a monster, And the thing is, I have other stories that are just as long, right? But it's just like, all right, how do I deal with this now? Especially since I got that backlogged, and I have.
Why not just produce it as an original graphic novel and just say, here's content?
I need the revenue from the individual campaigns to carry it over. So, yeah, that's all that is. I just need the revenue, just to be able to continue to pay the artist to continue to do it as well. So it's. It's funny. It's called a loss lead, but I don't lose anything. I just make money.
So here's the opposite side to that, and maybe we're just in different markets for this stuff. But like I've been talking about this shark book for a while that keeps getting pushed back, right. And I want to release it as an original graphic novel. Like that's my I want to do it that way. But when I do the OGN, at the same time, I'm going to offer singles. So let's say it's the equivalent of 6 issues.
Right.
Here's the whole book. Just get the book. Get it. We'll have a soft cover. We'll have a hard cover. Go get the book. But the floppy collectors and the art collectors will also have a 1 through 6 floppy set that they can buy that will only be available during the campaign. So that if they're floppy guys, go get your floppies. There it is, right there. So we're so in my brain, it's sort of in a way kind of the best of both worlds, where you can sell to whoever because you have all the options available, and then you have your floppies for those guys, and that's sort of your extra moneymaker in that regard, type of thing.
Right.
So that's what we're kind of looking at trying out once that book gets back into production. And because
are you going to do the multiple covers for each issue?
we will probably just do one cover per. We'll just do like a set of floppies, but they will all be. But it'll literally be like we will print however many are ordered. So if we get ordered for 75 sets, that's all that will ever exist. Yeah, it's all that'll exist.
Gotcha.
I don't even think we'll break it down to where they like buy one or the other. It's like if you want floppies, there's a set, and if you want the book, just go buy the book. Right. That's what's in my head right now, and that might change when we actually get to where the book is finished. But that's kind of what I'm thinking would make sense and help. And we might do like a fancy some aspect of a fancy foil for one of them or something. Again, just like you said, the revenue, right? But I really am curious to see what the response is for a 100+ page just OGN where I can be like, plap, there it is. It's on the table now.
Listen, I wish I could do it. I wish I could do it. I wish I could do it. But it will require me to have 400 backers per campaign and that sort of thing. Then I would
Yeah, I mean, you do have to look at it beyond the money. Right. It's if like just to pick Oswald, if you're getting 150, I don't know how many you get, but if you're getting 150 backers per campaign, for example, you're probably only going to get that many for the book, theoretically.
Right.
So it would be. Yeah, I get it. I know where you're coming from. Yeah.
And the thing is, with Oswald, I have specific groups. There are people who are going to pick up the floppies, and they won't touch a trade. And I have people who just buy the trades and they won't touch the floppies. And
that's why I was like, I have to do both, because I know there are people that want to collect the single issues of these books.
Yeah.
But they want the trade too. They still buy it. In my situation, they still buy the trades because they're like, well, that's what I'll read, and I'll set these aside. So that's kind of what I figured. It was like we can make a really nice set of limited edition things, and then the books are available. So, I want to get like a hardcover. I want to get like Joe Jusko to paint me a shark cover or something. I want to go crazy and do it that way. So, something like that. Yeah.
One of the things, I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys mentioned this when I stepped away, but it's how many backers you can gain over that time. Right? If you break it up into the 8 different issues, right? How many new people will find you?
Yeah, but I don't think any of us are seeing any sort of increase in what we're doing. Like, I got 150. There's an average. Obviously, there's an average, but if you're looking at 150 and then your next one is 160 and then 170, 180, and you're watching that go up, sure, 100%. But I don't think anybody's seeing that right now. Doesn't mean you're not finding new people. Definitely you can find new people. But as far as like an actual like incremental bump, that's not really happening. Yeah, you just have the people that are buying it, and that's it.
Like I was looking at my analytics the other day, and I'm like, okay, I got 49 returning backers. That's good. I only got 2 brand new backers. Right? So far in this campaign. That can change. But I've heard other people talk and where they've had much larger campaigns, right, with 200 or 300 backers, and they said they maybe got 10 or 11 new people to come in. Percentage-wise, I think we're about the same. You know what I mean?
Percentage-wise, right.
Percentage-wise, we're about the same, yeah. Right. So, it's like what Tom's saying. Nobody's seeing that huge growth, right? And, as to many other conversations we had is like, how do we break that barrier to get those new people in the door? That's the the thing we're constantly worrying about. Where do we get those new folks?
Right. So, all right, that's a great question to ask.
And getting new folks while maintaining the people that came in at the same time. And those 2 new people that Calderon got, they might get the book and be like, well, this is trash, and disappear. So you've got to replace them again.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly. And then I also have fans that will come in, buy $200 or $300 worth of stuff, and I won't see them again for another year.
right? Yeah.
And then they'll come back and they'll like, and they'll pick up all the other stuff. So it just depends.
Right.
Yeah, I've got it's funny, on my last two campaigns, I had guys that didn't even come back that bought everything. So that's like,
but you never, I mean, we all have that situation. I've literally had like one backer. I remember he bought from Oswald 1 all the way up through a certain point. I mean, it must have been 15, 16 campaigns, maybe more, maybe like 20 something campaigns. Okay. And I got his package.
Right.
And I'm like, why isn't he answering his survey? And I find out from his sister, or I think Daphne found out from his sister, he passed away.
Oh man.
Right. So I mean, those things happen. And then it's not the only time it's happened to me. Sometimes people get sick. Sometimes people, lose their jobs, whatever. So you can't. We don't know what other people's. Like the one time I backed out of a campaign, somebody had asked me, "Oh, why did you back out?" I said, "Well, I just lost my job." Right. And I was just like, "That's it."
Yeah.
Cutting everything, and unfortunately, you were there. And in that cut, so yeah, so it just depends. I mean, it just you gotta like weigh that stuff out. That's why I never begrudge anyone who doesn't come back quite quickly. It's just like it's just it's just stuff.
At what point, guys, do you think all right, let me reframe this. A lot of the comic book boom that we're experiencing, to bring it back to the title for tonight,
we're not experiencing.
Well, we're not experiencing. Excuse me.
The market is experiencing.
Larger market,
right? Yeah.
Has been identified as coming from that group of Raina Telgemeier and Dogman fans that have aged up, right? And they've entered the market. At what point do you think they get fed up with the market and start to come over and find us? How do we grab them?
All right. See, here's the problem.
Yeah.
Right? No.
Here's the problem, because there is going to be bleed through, right? There is going to be bleed through, but here's the fucking problem: is there was a time when there were more indie books on the shelves, right? And so you would walk through and see more of them. And you're like, what is this? What is this? And then you're like, screw it. Let me try that. And let me try that. But since there's so fewer, right? People have less of those opportunities, right? And it has a lot to do with there are fewer stores, there are fewer stores buying indies, and just the difficulty for us to get in. I mean, like I said, I want to get into the market. Am I going to do it through Filbo? Maybe. Am I going to try to maybe get Ben to pick it up? Maybe. I don't know. You understand? I just haven't made that decision yet. But it's like, it's tough. It's like, because I just feel that, like, it's like I said earlier, I think we've been marginalized and then marginalized and then marginalized and then marginalized. It's like being on top of a table and you just keep getting pushed to the edges, and they're just dying to just right off the edges. Fuck those guys. And unfortunately, we're those guys.
Unfortunately, we're those guys.
Yeah.
I'll come back to that. That's a good thing. Not a good thing, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's a good note that I'll come back to after Tom tells me what he says. When you were saying,
this kind of comes back to the manga crossover thing.
Okay.
American comics are not Dogman. They're not manga. The kids that are going to come in, theoretically, it's like, yeah, they aged up. We want something else, but they're so used to a format that American comics, to the most part, don't really adhere to. So while they may find their way into some odd stuff that doesn't sort of conform to like Marvel and DC, they might find their way to some weird stuff. But I don't think it's ever going to be a situation where they're like, oh, I came up from Dogman and I found even what?
Oswald.
you hope. I mean,
pray,
that's a very natural thing, like Dogman to something like Oswald. Yeah, you hope. But you know, everything, all of media and all of marketing and all this kind of stuff, it's all IP based. It's all hard press. Like even Image stuff, when it's doing well, it's like it's only doing well because there's hype behind it. Otherwise, if they were just like, here's a book, okay, so what? But when you have the media behind it to say things like what are these books that are popping, like Dork lately and White Sky, like this is it's all just like it's almost artificial that what you have to do to some degree to make these things sort of pop. And then once they do pop, then you're good. Then you're in the cycle of marketing and people talk about it all the time or whatever. But you kind of have to figure out a way to sort of artificially pop your IP in a way that will, you know, make other people talk about you. Because I watch a lot of stuff like on TikTok and stuff, and there are people there who talk about like sort of lower tier indie books and stuff similar to our stuff, but there is no engagement on that, like zero engagement. But then they'll talk about Dungeon Crawler Carl and the engagement goes through the roof. Right. So it's just a matter of we have to be able to put ourselves in front of these eyeballs to a point where it's relevant. And right now, none of where we are is like relevant to a larger market. And, you know, none of us are really in the market either. So if all of a sudden Oswald was in AP or just him doing it himself, you know, who knows what the response could be. I mean, somebody could find it and be like, yeah, I found this fucking mouse book. This is crazy cool. And it could pop just because some influencers find it. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm looking at like, okay, how do I take Big Dog back into the market and see what we can do? Because if all I have to do really is cover some printing costs and maybe a couple of new covers, I don't have to sell a shit ton of units up front to, you know, to be able to just recoup, you know, the printing costs. So, yeah.
Okay.
Damn it, I had a thought and I lost it.
Okay, so all right, while you try to find that thought, I want to capitalize on the last thing you said, right? And ties into me speaking to a couple of people at Terrificon, and they said that other indie guys were not fulfilling their orders to stores, which was ruining it for so many of us.
Sure.
In these stores.
Yeah, of course.
Oh man, I know that is why Lunar closed the doors, because there were a lot of indie guys who were coming up through Kickstarter and making a big splash, and then they were like, yeah, we're in fucking Lunar, and they all dropped the ball. Holy shit. Is there a list of people who dropped the ball? And most of those guys are gone now. But because Lunar had that bad taste, I remember they got really hardcore about their like shipping on time. And I remember because AP used to be notoriously late all the time, and now they are not because Lunar is like unacceptable, be on time. And so now that's kind of shaped their ship up, which is good. It's helping them because the books are on time when people are expecting them. So yeah, I know that was part of the reason why Lunar was like, okay, slow it down with these guys.
Yeah, and I mean with Lunar, like, you know, being the offshoot from DCBS, right? So I buy my books from DCBS,
right? And
they're discounted 30, 40%, whatever the number is. But I pay for that in advance. It's not like a pull list at a store where you're not putting. I pay for my books in advance, so it behooves them to hold those publishers, put their feet to the fire, and say, "Listen, give me those books because my clients have already paid."
Right.
And if I wanted to be a bitch, I'd be like, "Yo, this book's taking 9 months. Fuck you. Give me back my money. Right. And they already ordered the book. They'll refund me because I've had it happen where I've seen a book just take it. It was like, dude, this thing has been on this list for like a year and a half. Take it off. Give me back my money. They refund me. But if that publisher ships and they get the book, they eat it. Right. And the other thing that I found interesting is like, I go to Midtown Comics, right? The outlet that's over here by me. And, I pick up all these indie books, like, the dollar bins and all that jazz. But they also sell complete sets, right? And they'll have complete sets of like these random series I've never heard of. From like, I don't know, Mad Cave or pick any one of these. Some of them could be Dark Horse, Boom, whatever. And they'll have like issues 1 through 4, 1 through 5, $5, $6. And then there'll be like a 25% off sale. And I'll pick them up for, it'll be like $3 for the set or whatever. So I'll pick up a few of these, right? And I'll kick back and I'll read them. And like I'm reading one now that I've never heard of. The artwork's nice. And the story is actually fun.
Okay.
And I'm like, what a shame that this book never saw more traction. You understand? Because there is nothing to promote it. Right? Their own publisher couldn't promote it. And I believe it was Mad Cave. And Mad Cave's a reasonably,
you know what? They come up with some solid stories, man. Yeah. I've picked up a new book this week. I haven't read it yet. Just based on the Mad Cave logo, because I've picked up quite a few good ones from them.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, the book is good. And I'm like, I would have never have known of it if I didn't find it as a $5 set at the Midtown outlet. You know what I mean? And I'm like, how many books there's probably like 2,000 of each of these things printed, maybe 3,000 of each printed, Yeah. And I'm like, it's one of the things that kills me is that when I go to places like Midtown and I'm going through all this stuff and I hate putting it like this. I see all of these dead dreams, right? I flip through and I'm like, I pick up these random indie books and I'm like, ooh, and they look interesting and some of them look cool. And you're like, it's just, another dispossessed, another of the dispossessed. And it's just like, you pull them out and it's like these weird artifacts, that you're pulling out. And I just think it's a shame that there is no place. That's why I'm going to mention this. DM Ray is coming out with his new show where he's going to be reviewing books.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for us as a community to try to review books, right? Because that's the only gauge that people have to say whether or not you have a good book, right? And just because, and the thing is, we may not, be in line. Like, one person might review my book and think, oh, this stuff is terrible. And I might have another group of people who review and be like, oh, this is great, right? Because one person might not be into the whole mouse thing and the other person might be really cool with it. Same thing, with whatever, you might be doing a superhero comic. One person might love superheroes, another person might hate superheroes. You know what I mean? And then you have the, people who like the slice of life comics, right? So it just all depends. But I do feel we do need a space where books are reviewed because I don't think enough of them are, But that's my opinion.
Okay.
And they're reviewing one of my books first, so. I gotta be honest with you. I didn't tell DM this, but it is an honor for him to ask me to be first.
All right, way to be. Tom, what did you think about that?
The only way reviews work is if you're willing to tell someone that wasn't very good.
Right.
Because otherwise you're just blowing smoke up everybody's ass that's involved, that's watching, whatever. Now, again, just like JayDee said, though, there's some variation. If you don't like superheroes, you're probably going to give it a bad review, regardless of what it is. So that's why review things for me rarely mean anything. I don't care what somebody says. Yes, no, maybe. Who cares? I don't care about a review. What I would be interested in is more specific deep dive into whatever book it is through the creator. A couple people read it and then it's like deep dive. It's go into the book, like less now, because again, I think reviewing is more sort of antiseptic. It's like, oh, well, here's this book, and well, do you like the art? Yes or no? Well, do you like the story? Yes or no? Do you like the lettering? Yes or no? It's very black and white, and it doesn't, for me, it doesn't engage me in the slightest, because again, it's all opinions are sort of arbitrary. But if I were to watch a show where we were deep diving what the book is, and what the creator had in mind when they were doing it. Hey, what were you doing with this page? Especially guys that have been doing it for a while, because you can then sort of watch the growth of, well, I started this back here, and this is where we are now, and so on and so on. I think there's more value in those types of shows, or discussions or whatever, than like just purely clinically reviewing what it is.
Okay.
So I like the idea that there's the space of these things being talked about,
right.
But just a pure review show, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that it would grab me.
Ray's spoken to me about it a few times. 50-50 on it. I wish him well. I'm not gonna tear down his building as he's putting it up. So if he does, I hope he does well with it.
Yeah, my understanding is it is a deep dive.
Okay.
Of the book. It's supposed to be a deep dive. So it's not like they're just doing a surface review. They're doing an actual deep dive.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not just him. He has 3 other people with him, and they're all going to discuss it. And here, real quick, Jay.
Okay.
Tenchi Muyo, the book I wrote in the 90s that recently got the hardcover, the reason I even found out about the guys is because they did a deep dive review of the 6 issues that I had written. Okay. And it was crazy and funny to hear it, because they pick it apart. They tell you the parts they like. They tell you the parts they don't like. And it made me laugh, because they were talking about one specific character, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he's too creepy and scary, and this, that, and the other thing. I don't like him because of that." And I was like, "Yeah, well, that's how it's supposed to be." But so it made sometimes it's good to hear that criticism, right? But then again, also as a creative, like I wouldn't have. Even if I had that criticism before, I wouldn't have changed the character, because that's how it was supposed to be. So, but it is good to hear that criticism, because then there are things you can correct, moving forward,
Okay. So, all right. Before we get out of here, let me touch on some of these comments. Daphne says, "Do you know where the audience you want to attract is, and are you willing to go there?"
No.
Okay.
I don't know who they are, and I'm not willing to go
there. You need a back catalog ready to go. Yes, you do at all times, brother. If you have a few Mad Cave titles on my poll, I have a few Mad Cave titles on my poll. What was it? Oh, and then you responded to him. Okay, you hit him up with it. Yeah, William. And the book Calderon is gushing over is called the Oswald Chronicles.
Not was, is.
Is. And so it's like an indie comic book club. Okay. All right, guys. Look, we went well past the 1.5 hour mark. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We didn't even do a top 5, guys, and I brought it back.
I know. But listen, we were talking about.
No, we had good flow tonight, and I like that. I like the way it came out. But I appreciate everybody who's hanging out with us tonight. Thank you. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with some of the other people that that are into comic books and comic book talk, the way we bring it out into the open. Calderon, you want to let everybody know where they can find you, buddy?
Facebook, Instagram, DeviantArt, Twitter, those places. This Sunday night with these 2 fine gentlemen, I think.
Okay.
And some other fine guests. We got a couple of newbies coming on.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say newbies. They just haven't been on it. I've never had them on before, so I don't know if they're newbies. Actually, I think one of them might be.
Understood. Okay.
They reach out to me, and I'm like, fuck it, come on.
Good. Tom, where can they find you, bud?
BigDogInc.com. Get your books. We're here on Facebook all the time, but we're on Instagram and all that kind of stuff too. You're welcome to follow us and get your fix of me quick because football's right around the corner and Sundays will be. We'll have to see how much time I've got for podcasts on Sundays.
Ocupado. Well, it all depends on if your team is winning or not. Oh no, you're going to be following other things besides your team. I get it.
Well, I play fantasy football. I watch football. I don't just watch my team. I know Jets fans, they don't have a choice but to follow the entire league because they know their team's already fighting for that. They're fighting for that number one spot in the draft.
Yeah, damn right. Joke's on you, buddy. Our Sundays are free. So I'll be thrift shopping with my wife on Sunday. But I'm ready for fantasy with you again this year. All right. So you're ready to let everybody know where they can find you. Folks, can be found on unstoppablecomics.com, of which Comic Book Streamland is a part of. You can find me also on Sunday, Indie Comic Explained, with these guys over here. On August 22nd, I'll be in Leominster, Massachusetts at Plastic City Comic Con. Come see me over there. Then I got a couple other podcasts. The FYI, I Am Damaged podcast on Thursday, September 3rd. And then I'll be hanging out with George Medina and Sam Vera on their podcast Tuesday, September 8th for the Catch the Craze. New York Comic Con, booth 1971. I cannot forget to mention that. That is going to be a big to-do. So if you already got your tickets for New York Comic Con, please make sure that you stop by our booth, make it a destination, and pick up some of the exclusives. Oh, that I mentioned that. Yes, that we're going to have over there. So be ready, folks. All right. I'm going to be revealing what some of those are in the coming weeks. Thank you for hanging out with us again, everybody. Pronounced Leominster. Oh, Leominster. Okay, I thought it was Leominster. I apologize. But William, you're originally from Brooklyn. Okay, buddy? You're from here. My neighborhood. All right? Don't defend Mass people that much against one of your hometown boys, brother. All right? Please. Leominster. But I will stand corrected. So if you're there, please come check me out, Plastic City, bro. I hope I get to see you there. All right. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging out with us. Have a good night.